Oh, hey there. So maybe you're wondering, like, what is God calling me to do for a living? And I want to tell you a quick story about when I was in Israel. We had a guide in Israel. His name is Stan Goodenough. And halfway through the journey, I was like, Stan, you're not good enough. You are great. I have so much respect for Stan. Um, he knew so many things, and he just had such a humble spirit. And he told us early on that he had been a journalist and that he was a college professor and he was a guide. And in Israel, it's a big deal to be a guide. It's not just like, well, let me show you around. It's like there's strict protocol and they have to do a lot of learning and testing and things like that. And so, close to the end of our trip, somebody on our trip said, well, where would I have seen your work? Where would I have seen your journalism stuff? And I'm like, please don't do this. Because as somebody who's been in the entertainment business and the media business for decades, people come up and they try to like make you prove yourself. You're like, look, man, it's my job. Like, not everybody's Brad Pitt. Okay, we can still make a living. It's just, whatever. And and they're like, so what is it what are you? Like, are you a journalist? Are you a guide? Are you a teacher? What are you? And he just said, it is my calling in life to tell the story of the Jewish people, to tell the story of Jesus in the hopes that I might save some. And the guy goes, yeah, but like, what's your job or whatever? And he goes, it is my calling in life to tell the story of the Jewish people and tell the story of Jesus in the hopes that I might save some. And they're like, wow, you're kind of passionate about this, huh? And he goes, it is my calling in life to tell the story of the Jewish people and tell the story of Jesus in the hopes that I might save some. And I was like, he gets it. It doesn't matter what you do for a living. It doesn't matter what you do for work, because your calling in life is to follow what God told you to do. What you do for work is irrelevant. I've worn so many hats, I don't even remember. I've probably forgotten more jobs than most people have ever had. At one point in my life, I was 18, and my mom was like, what do you want to do with your life, John? And I was like, I don't know. I was at a point of like a crossroads. I was like, I don't know. And she goes, you should be a pastor. And I'm like, Mom, I'm a dropout. I've been out of school for years, and you have to go to college and all kinds of things. She goes, you're smarter than you think. And I'm like, no, Mom, I'm a construction worker. Okay. And I remember me and my brother used to make jokes. I'm a construction worker in Texas. I'm not a big deal. Nobody cares about me or anything I do. There's nothing special about me whatsoever. And she's like, the only time that you're happy is when you're sharing the gospel with people. That's the only time that you're happy. It's when you're the happiest. I take that back. And I was like, that's fair. And I did go to college to be a pastor. It wasn't in the cards for reasons. But I think that oftentimes what is in our heart, God puts in our heart, and we're ordained by that. And regardless of whether or not I've ever made a penny as a pastor is irrelevant, because God put that in my heart. He's like, you will pastor people. Now, a pastor is basically a shepherd of people, okay? He gets them in the right direction. Hey, everybody, the water's over here. Hey, everybody, food's over here. Hey, everybody, enemy's over here. Let's get you in the right place. And I have had the honor of being able to do that, regardless of what it is I do for a living. Whether it's video work or acting or singing or playing guitar or playing piano, whether it's writing books or public speaking or doing video work or making t-shirts, stupid t-shirts, or owning a music venue or being a construction worker in Texas, or any of the other things that I've done. I worked in a gold mine as a geologist assistant. I worked in a sawmill. I cut down trees, and it didn't matter what I did for a living, and it still doesn't, because I see it like this. God has put me in front of this person because he wants to answer somebody's prayer for that person. And he chose me to be there for them. And so whatever in the world it is I'm doing for money is peripheral. That's nice. Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm going to get paid or I'm not. God provides. But my calling in life is to tell the story of Jesus and to give my testimony in the hopes that I might save some. And recently it's come to my attention. There have been a lot of people. I got to baptize somebody last week, and I was very grateful for that. And there was another person there that asked me to baptize him, and then his dad did it instead. And he's got such a transformation in his life. and I love being a part of that. I love it. Like, nothing makes me happier than that. And I've been thinking about the fact that Jonah got called to go to Nineveh and to preach to Nineveh. And he's like, what difference will it make? And then 100,000 people got saved. 100,000. The entire city was saved on his testimony. God told him go, and he went, and he did what God told him to do, and 100,000 people were saved. I hope that my life can make that kind of impact. But if it just changes one person's destiny, I'm grateful for that. Anyway, that's a long way of saying you do the next right thing and you love the person in front of you. You serve God first, and whatever in the world you need to do for a living, that's going to come. I love you guys.